Zero Bounce Man, welcome to the show. It's crazy. You did a pod with Combo a few months back, and then all of a sudden, 1.5 million followers.
Hey man, I was very very locked in, 100%. I knew some big changes were coming, so I was like I need to prepare myself for the advent of different changes that were going on in my life. So
Okay, I'm familiar with what you do, but maybe not everybody listening is. For those that don't know, what is it exactly that you do on the internet?
so predominantly I make now I make comedy skits, and I stream. I do all sorts of things. I also on the side do a little bit of internet training and different things like that. I use my videos a lot to inform people and help people learn more about training, so that we can have a more informed uh, play. We can have more informed players. Growing up, I had to do a lot of YouTubing and Googling stuff to try and figure out how exactly I can make myself better, get stronger, and get more athletic and things like that. And I didn't necessarily have access to trainers because I just didn't really have the money to come by that. So I was like, okay, let me try and be what I wanted as a kid growing up playing basketball. So I do a little bit of the comedy stuff. Once I heal from this injury, I will be back to doing more basketball content. But torn tendons it takes a little while to come back from those.
Where's the tendon torn?
So my quad tendon, there's the patellar tendon, which is the that's the predominant tendon where everybody has pain at. The quad
Hmm.
tendon is the tendon on the top of your kneecap. A lot of people don't really deal with that area and problems there as often. Um,
Right.
and I have a partially torn quad tendon. I've been doing a lot of, and I didn't know it was partially torn until I went and got an MRI like 4 months after the fact. I was like, why is my knee just not getting better? Because normally I've healed pretty fast my entire life, and this is just the first problem I've ever had where it was taking months for like I'm talking I couldn't walk up the stairs without it being like slightly painful. So I'm like, okay, this isn't normal. I went and get the X-ray.
Hmm.
They're like, yeah, everything's clear, and then I'm like, all right, well, it's got to be a soft tissue problem. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Even with all the technology, like X-rays usually don't tell you much. MRIs tell you a little bit more. But at the end of the day, no one knows exactly what's going on with your body.
yeah, yeah.
It's like you never really know because they could give you everything to get better, and then at times you're still not better. I do think there's a fix for everything, but sometimes we don't have the right information, or sometimes the information isn't out there yet.
Yeah, 100%. My philosophy has kind of always been like the body is going to do its work if you allow it. So it's kind of
Okay.
like, obviously with the advancements and whatnot we have in technology, like you're still not healing torn tendons by yourself. Like obviously you need to go and either if it's a full rupture, you gotta get surgery on that.
Like ACL, there's nothing you could
Yeah,
do.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have to go get that fixed. But like for like little nings and dings here. Like if you really take the time to like figure out what the problem is, and you talk to, for instance, like I know Bobby and Ross. Ross like he knows this inside and out. So having
Right.
conversations with him and whatnot, he kind of has let me know the route to take it. And I've had to take some time away from actually hooping, and that has been annoying because it would be like I'm feeling a little better one week. I go hoop. It's like I'm back to
Yeah.
square one with it. So he was like, you're just gonna actually have to take time off, or it's just never gonna get better. You're gonna keep making it progressively worse and worse and worse over time. So, um, giving my body time, and as people at home, like giving your body time to actually heal is extremely important when you have an actual injury.
Your name is Zero. There was three players named. No, sorry, they weren't named Zero. They had the number zero. They all suffered an Achilles injury. Do you have any theories on thoughts why this seems to be happening more lately, especially to star players?
Honestly, well, normally the star players do be getting zero now. It's a popular number amongst
You know
like.
what it is? I think like Westbrook has it too. I think it's when you feel underrated, right?
Uh,
Like everybody thought I was this, but I'm really a lot more than this.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Growing up,
Yeah.
my favorite number was 3. And then, like, once I seen, I want to say I saw Gilbert Arenas wearing 0, but I didn't, like, realize how tough it was until I saw Westbrook with it. And then hearing what Gilbert Arenas' nickname was, I was like, yeah, 0 is just a cool nickname. Like, 0 is just a tough name,
It is. It is.
tough number. I'm like, yeah, I definitely need that when I get to high school. So,
Yeah. No, so with the Achilles injuries, what are your thoughts, man?
honestly, I think it's just a matter of a lot of the players that are really good happen to be playing. Like I think a lot of like I don't think it has anything to do with the number. I'm gonna just leave.
No, 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 no. I
I'm
know.
gonna
No,
say that.
yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with the number. But with Tyrese's situation, I feel like every single time we hear of somebody having a bad calf strain, like or at least the last 2 high profile calf strains we've heard about ended the same way. Kevin Durant.
Well, it was yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
they both ended up, obviously the calf strain to Achilles pipeline is there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know particularly about Dame's situation and Tatum's situation. I think Tatum was like my girl works for the NBA. She does like analytics and different things like that. So she like kind of just be knowing about player health a lot more than I do. And she was saying that Tatum was hurt going into that game as well. She basically said they're all really hurt toward the end of the year, and they're all kind of just
That is
managing
true.
injuries toward the end of the year, and everybody's hurt to a certain degree. Now, granted,
Yeah.
obviously certain players are hurt to a different extent than others, but she was like, yeah, Tatum was hurting a little bit going into that game, and she was like that may have contributed. She doesn't know obviously, but she was like that may have been a contributing factor. So I think a lot of what it is we're seeing Achilles tears at the highest level because, plain and simple, we're getting more athletic, more explosive, and
Yeah.
that's just a fact. You know what I mean? So it's like your tendons are your tendons. Human tendons haven't really gotten stronger or more durable over time. Like they're tendons.
Right.
It's not like you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we've learned how to explode better. We've built our muscles differently. We've become more explosive, and our tendons. I think we're kind of reaching a point where we need to do more research on the tendon and the that side of things rather than just the high performance aspect of sports. Because like think about it like this: the most explosive movements you make on the court don't necessarily feel good for your body. Stopping on a dime after running full speed, you could probably attest to this. That doesn't feel good sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when we're younger and we're like, high school and all that, we can stop, plant, stick, all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like as you get, like even me, like I kind of be feeling it sometimes. When you stick hard.
Yeah, I mean that's why you play with more pace as you get older.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't go full speed everything.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that we as athletes have gotten more explosive, we've gotten better at at our footwork and our pace and our ability to change speeds and different things like that. I think as you get better and quicker in those situations, you're putting your body under more strain. I think that's also a contributing factor.
Yeah, I think you could build muscle, but your tendons don't really get stronger.
Yeah,
like the actual tendon, unless you are taking PEDs, then I think it can actually.
Yeah. I think they can get more springy, but they're not like they're not changing in like their durability necessarily. Like I don't really know how to.
Yeah, you don't gain mass to your tendons. I don't think, right? Yeah.
It's kind of like human bones. Like your bone, no matter what human you are, your bone, like our bones are all around the same level of durability and how they perform under load in certain directions and whatnot. Like that. That's just like human bones. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are. Everybody's bones are for the most part the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's incredible. Like you think about like Bo Jackson, how like his whole hip like popped out of socket, and then Zion obviously has his injuries. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that LeBron stayed healthy for this long. Like how big and strong he is, and how fast he moved over all that time.
I I was watching a video, and I think Spencer Dinwiddie kind of encapsulated why LeBron's his longevity has been so amazing, and it's because at the peak of LeBron's at LeBron's peak athleticism, he's the most athletic person in the NBA, or at least in his prime, he was just the most athletic person in the NBA. Period.
Yeah.
Like at that size, that speed, he was so his peak is so high, he doesn't have to be up here all the time. You know what I'm saying? The times when you injure yourself the most is when you're at that peak and you're trying to exceed and get something more out of your body. You know what I'm saying?
Well, younger players play like that more often than older players too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And LeBron's been really good at playing like at around like this sub maximal level. So that's why he's also able to just been able to extend his career and still be effective, because he doesn't have to redline his body in order to be one of the best players in the league. And a lot of players, like a lot of smaller guards, be having crazy injuries in college and high school, or in college and in the pros, because you're 6 feet 5'11", you're a smaller person in the league. You have to be fast. You can't be you have to be pushing your body in order to keep up with what's going on around you. And a lot of times, like, that's where you're gonna find those injuries, a lot of those crazy injuries and whatnot. And it's because you're going so hard.
Yeah, you ever go to the gym and somebody like starts to face guard you and they double team, and to get off, now you're probably gonna have to redline a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate when people guard me like that, or I get doubled. And then nobody else is playing defense, but that guy's guarding you. Like, I feel like that increases your chances to get injured by so much when they play like that.
Yeah, 100%. I think
unless you just want to like take yourself out to play and let them play 4-on-4, which is okay too. It probably helps your team, but it's like, yeah, that's just my thoughts.
I completely feel you on that. A lot of times it'd be the short dudes too. I think like super short guys, I ain't gonna lie, those are the most dangerous people to play basketball against, yo. Like, you go into the basket, your legs getting taken out, you like, yo, I didn't even see this little dude. Where did he even come from?
Right.
They're always hacks. Everybody that's like under 5 foot, like 10, 5'8", hacks.
Yeah.
Super hacks. Grabbed, pushed.
How do you feel? Devin Booker once came out and said, like, why are you doubling in pickup? How do you feel about double teaming in pickup?
Personally, I feel like it depends on the level of skill of each player, relative to each other. For instance, like if Devin Booker comes to your local LA Fitness, yeah, we're double teaming him. When you're playing pickup with other NBA players, for me, I feel like it's kind of like a pride thing. You know what I mean? Like, we're playing pickup. This isn't playoff basketball. This isn't NBA basketball. We're playing pickup right now. Have some pride. It's the same way I feel about if somebody were to play zone in pickup. Be a man. Like, why? Like, what? Like if you really saying, yeah, I can't guard you, get somebody else.
Well, even when the level is low and they double you, a lot of times they wouldn't be able to double you in real life. Just the guy that you're playing with isn't good enough and is self-checked. And that's why this is not even real basketball. Like, if you're sending 3 with me and there's 4 guys that can't play with me, like, that's not even real basketball at this point.
100%. That's why I always pick I don't care how ass a play. I don't know if I can say that. I don't care how trash a player is at every other skill set on the floor. If you can shoot, you can play with me, man. They want to send a double team, I'm throwing it right at you.
Right.
Like, when I pick my team, I be thinking they're gonna try and pack the paint and stop me from getting to the basket. There's gonna be kickouts and wide open threes all day. Like, if I play with just a bunch of shooters, everybody's scoring a lot of points. I prefer to drive and kick. So me personally, I'm always picking the shooters. I like shooters.
You mentioned earlier that you didn't really have access to basketball trainers growing up. How much do you believe basketball trainers matter in a younger player's development?
So I think to a certain extent, players kind of just got to go out and play and kind of figure things out. Because
you got to play your sport. That's for sure.
Like, you have to. You know You know
You
what I mean?
have
If you're
to.
just training all the time and you're not,
100%.
applying the skills to the game. Like,
100%.
there's a lot of players that are like, they look really good in workouts, but then
Skill development robots.
yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're not like really like dogs, like when it comes to really being able to like perform under pressure and different things like that. Like you can kind of tell like certain players are good in a controlled environment. Other players are dogs. Other players. Like, there's certain players like I grew up with guys who, and this used to piss me off too. I would have like a player on my team going through the motions in practice, don't get no extra shots up, don't do none of the extra stuff, but he's a killer.
Right, 100%.
He's a killer. And there's certain people that are kind of like a lot of those guys kind of grew up competing all of the time. So the competition aspect of it is second nature to them. They thrive on we're competing. Yeah, I like this. Now they're locked in. Now they're dialed in. Now they're really getting the most out of their body and they're performing. You feel me? In workouts, they would look like the most normal, average player. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes time to under the lights and between the lines, they're just dogs. And I don't know. I don't think you can just get that by training. I think you have to, go through some trials and you need to really compete against some guys in order to become one of those guys.
And on the flip side of that, the guy that is a gamer, he's not maximizing his own potential.
Exactly.
If he's not working on his skill, if he's not repping out skill, because he's a gamer. I mean, he's going to do good in games, but he's not going to have all the options that he could have if he actually worked on it, because he got the most important part down, but kind of like sharpening the skills would be important for him, for that person you're talking about.
100%.
Yeah.
I think the mental aspect of the game, if you're a player and you have that mental edge down, all you got to do is train now. Like you already have the hardest part. And it's the part that's damn near unteachable, is that mental aspect of the game. And it's like if you have that to you already. You add the actual the workouts to it, and you add the actual work and the skill to it. Now nobody's gonna be able to do anything with you. You have you already have the natural raw confidence in yourself to just be like, y'all can't stop me. Now you have a million different moves to go to. I think players like that. Kyrie Irving, prime example of a player like that who he's a gamer and he added the skill to it, because it's the reason why you don't see him necessarily a lot of players in the league. They have their go-to shots, and Kyrie has his go-to shots too, but he has such a variety of moves that he can hit you with that it's like yo, you don't know what the hell to do with him. And there's a couple Allen Iverson was one of those players who I believe if he would have really dialed into the work, not saying that he didn't, but if he really would have sat there and been as intentional with his work as somebody like a Kobe, I feel like his ceiling could have been even higher than what it was. Because in my opinion, I think
100%.
Kyrie Irving is the evolution of an Allen Iverson, where he has that raw game ability that in the mental edge that an Allen Iverson has, but he added the Kobe obsessiveness with the work to it, and now it's like what we know now as today is the most skilled basketball player to breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has every option that you could think of as an offensive player, and then he has the options you can't even think about. And then on top of that, when you watch a James Harden play, who's a phenomenal, one of the all-time great scorers, he does have some tendencies.
Yeah.
When he's going to step back. Kyrie Irving, from my perspective, there's really no tendencies.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason. It's hard to scout for. It's not like there's just no tendencies. It's it's random almost.
100%. It's the variety of different options that he has, and then on top of that, it's his ability to adapt. Because you could even throw Kyrie off of whatever he's trying to do, and he'll still adapt and be able to finish and be able to shoot over you, or be able to get balance to get a shot off. And that's one of those things where it's that comes from one natural. His brain is different. His brain is just operating differently. And on
Hmm.
top of that, it's the game reps and the having been through damn near everything as a basketball player that kind of has gotten him to this point. I think Kyrie Irving is the most unstoppable person to guard. Like, you can't really guard him one on one. There's nothing you can like. I would want to see him playing like more. I would want to see him playing one on one. Like, I would want to see like an NBA one on one tournament just to watch him.
I think with the basketball in his hands, and even with that basketball out of his hands, he's pretty good off the ball as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing he can't do. Like, 3-level score, either hand. He could even post, could play on the ball, could play off the ball,
Yep.
and then he could kind of like he could change. He plays with fluidity on top of that. You know.
Yeah, yeah. He's one of those players that's like smooth, but like also twitchy too. Like, it's very
Yeah, yeah.
rare that you get a guy that has both of them at the same time. Like,
I guess MJ was kind of like that, right?
yeah, MJ was kind of like that, you know, to a certain extent. To a certain extent,
Like LeBron is not smooth.
yeah,
But
LeBron's not smooth at all.
Yeah,
To a certain
yeah.
extent, though, Derrick Rose had a fluidity to his game in his prime that is like people think of him as more of a twitchy athlete, but if you watch the way he was able to shift people and move and then explode out of different things, he had
His jumper wasn't smooth, even though he knocked it down. His
yeah,
jumper
no,
wasn't that.
no, definitely
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
His
yeah.
movement on the court and
Yeah, it was.
getting to the rim had the smoothness and he was craftier. Like, a lot of people thought he was just athletic, and then they didn't really appreciate his craftiness until after the injuries. But he was crafty. Derrick Rose's floater early in his career was
Definitely.
also elite craftiness, and then he would just dunk on you.
Right,
It's
right.
like it's either you're gonna come out here and you're gonna sit under the paint and try and keep me from dunking. I'm gonna float it over you, or I'm gonna blow right by you and punch it on somebody.
What maddens you today when you're watching somebody work on their skill and you're thinking in your head, like, this makes no sense, this is a waste of time? And on top of that, how does one know how to delegate their time when it comes to skill development, athletic development, playing your sport?
So, me personally, I like. Okay, so when I go through my workouts, I'll start off, kind of getting into a rhythm and whatnot, and then I immediately move to different things that kind of, get me a little bit outside of my comfort zone. What kind of upsets me sometimes is when I watch a player kind of just like I have friends like this. They'll go through and they'll do like they'll go through their whole workout and this their workout. Go in, do dribble drills for like 5 minutes or something like that. All stationary stuff. Dribble drills for 5 minutes.
If you're gonna do dribbling drills for 5 minutes, it probably shouldn't be stationary. If you're only gonna do it for 5 minutes,
If you're only doing dribble drills for 5 minutes, you should probably be moving with the ball. Like,
right.
make it a little more
If you're doing it for like 25, 30, I could see some stationary.
Yeah.
You could add that in there. Yeah,
100%.
but go ahead. Proceed.
100%. They'll do like stationary dribble drills, form shooting, and then they'll go do 5 spots, like mid-range of threes, and then they're done. Like, that's their whole workout. And then they're
That's
like,
crazy.
okay, well, why am I not getting better at shooting? And I'm like, well, you're already comfortable shooting 5 spots, going around the world or whatever, and then going back. Like that, like, you're comfortable doing that. Like, when you're in your comfort zone, that's like you're not gonna grow as much as you can in that workout, and it's not the most bang for your buck. So for me, if I'm doing that, I'll do like 5 around the world, and then I'll go back, and then and then that's just the warm up. Like, that's the warm up for, like, at least in my eyes. Like, I see that as the warm up. The actual work is the different, catching and shooting on the move. Different things, dribble hand off to something
Variety.
Yeah, exactly. Something moving,
Yeah.
something that's more game like, something that's gonna, get you at least a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Because when you're uncomfortable and you start figuring it out, that's when you start to kind of see growth. Like, for instance, let's say I'm working on like I'm working on my handles or something like that. Let's say I'm at good drills, right? And we're doing something, you got to go between the legs, behind the back, and you have to do it continuous and moving. At the beginning of the workout, I'm gonna be struggling with it. But once I start to get it toward the end of whatever we're doing, now, like, I have a better feel for the ball and I'm more comfortable in that situation. And I can literally tell you I've grown because I'm better at doing this now than I was when I first got here. You know what I'm saying? Also, a lot of players don't, even in their 5 spot shooting or whatever, they're not really testing themselves. And they're not really, shooting for a specific number. You know, like let's say you're shooting 10 shots in a spot. Tracking your shots, like if you start tracking your shots, that alone, I promise you will make you a better shooter because you're more conscious of, you know, your makes and your misses, and you're not trying to miss shots, right? Like you're gonna go to each spot, like, yeah, I'm trying to make 10 shots out of 10, like for an example. And when you start like you're like that dialed in, you're like, I'm trying to make every damn shot. Like you're not like the intention is different and the focus is different. And in a game now you're like, okay, obviously the percentages go down in games, but I make this in my sleep. Like the shots start to become like when you start going back and looking at the numbers from your workouts and you're seeing, oh damn, I'm making 90% of my shots in my workouts. There's a different kind of confidence you have going into games. Like I shoot 90, think of how you would feel going into a game shooting any shot if you shoot it 90% when you're by yourself in the gym. There's just a different confidence there. I don't give a damn who's in front of me. I don't see you. That's money. You know what I'm saying? That's why when players look at, you know, NBA players and their work, they're seeing NBA players. They're shooting like 90% when they're in the gym by themselves. Steph Curry, like 90%. And what does that translate to? 40, you know, 40% range in actual games. So it's like when you realize that that's what the best players in the world are doing, and you go back and you look at your own numbers, you're like, okay, I can see why I'm not the best shooter in the world. Like I'm not the best shooter when I'm in the gym by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like when you realize that too, like there's just like you're just dialed in. You're dialed in differently, even in just your regular shooting, you know, routine, whatever it is.
What's most important when it comes to getting bouncy?
Not getting hurt and being able to jump as much as possible. Taking care of your body and being able to jump as often as you possibly can, I think is the most important thing to it. Because that's why we see a bunch of guys who like, you know, we have those guys that have trained for their bounce and whatnot, and we have a lot of guys that kind of just naturally have it.
Or they do both, and they're super bouncy.
Yeah, or they have both of them. You know
yeah.
A lot of the guys that have that natural bounce or that natural bounce, what it is they kind of just jumped more. Like obviously there's some genetic aspect to it, but there's a lot of guys who just jumped more. You know what I mean? Like I know like one of my friends, everybody was wondering why he just randomly got bouncy out of nowhere, and I was like, I think his body kind of just caught up to him. Honestly.
I think strength is an underrated component. Like if you're not lifting heavy with legs, you are not maximizing your potential because that's your base, that's your foundation.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But, you know, nothing will ever replace just jumping. Like actually like max intent jumping. You know what I'm saying?
I guess you would call that the plyometric side of things, right? Basically.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, jumping is the most important thing at the end of the day, and being able to jump is awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Zero, what are you working on, man? What's next for you?
So I'm getting ready for the Creator League with House of Highlights and whatnot. So right now,
shouts to House of Highlights. I did a few debate shows for them.
Oh yeah. I seen that. You was with I don't know the dude's name.
Low. One was one. Yeah, low.
Yeah.
So what's that? What's that like? What's the Creators League?
So this is gonna be my first event is gonna be at the end of the month. So I don't really know exactly what it's all like yet, but all I know is that my team's really good, and we're like already number one in the standings, and I haven't even played anything yet, and I think I'm probably the most athletic person in the entire league. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a lot of good basketball players, and we have like a lot of like athletes. So I think we have the slam ball coming up at the end of the month. Then we have football next month. Then we have like I don't
wait, slam ball with the trampolines?
It's not the trampolines. It's like a Sky Zone or some shit. Like where it's like the Sky Zone type mat, and they got baskets. I would have to look up Duke Dennis slam ball. Like and like he's really good at it.
No, so there was a slam ball from like 15 years ago that they tried to make, and then they came out with it. Is that the same one where it's like you bounce up? Okay,
that's the one with the trampolines. It's not like that. It's the same premise in all reality, because you're on like a bouncy floor type of thing, and
Okay.
you jump higher and whatnot. It's the same premise, but it's just not the
Did you
trampoline.
did you try did you try it yet?
No, no. I'm gonna go
Oh.
before I go down to Atlanta. I'm gonna go to like the Sky Zone in my area and go see how that feels.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought if I was getting into that would be like, I just don't want to get hurt, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
no, 100%.
you're gonna be higher than ever. Like that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna just try and fall gracefully, man. I'm
Right.
gonna
You
try
got
and
to start you got to start studying parkour.
yeah,
They like
yeah, yeah,
roll out the
100%.
falls.
Yeah, for sure. Studying parkour. I'm hanging on the rim. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not coming down extra hard.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, that's gonna it's
Yeah,
gonna be
man.
super fun. I'm excited. I might wear some knee braces going into that, and
Definitely.
yeah, we'll take it from there.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Zero, where can we find you? Social media and everywhere else?
Zero bounce on Instagram with a zero, and then pretty much just regular zero bounce everywhere else. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, all that. So,
Thanks for taking the time, Zero. Talk soon.
100% appreciate you, combo. Thank you for having me
Anytime,
on.
bro.